This needs to be how I pick my TBR for the rest of my life. This video is just chock full of bangers. I even think about thinking.
Because of course a Leo is gonna entrench on another zodiac sign. I'm so sorry. I am a DNF supporter.
I think we're on 5-star alert.
Leo, welcome to my channel. I want to do a reading project, okay? Books and Lala is the queen. She's been doing them for years and years and years. I've watched them all. I love them all. It's time. I've been inspired forever and I want to make one. So here I am making one in my unemployment era. So, and I was just thinking what's gonna be the most fun. And I was talking to my friend about our zodiac signs. And I have this book already that I've had for years about being a Leo. If you don't know, I am a Leo. I feel like my camera presence has not given anyone that indication. I have been in corporate bullshit for so long and now I am out and free and ready to like let the Leoness shine. So we're gonna talk about being a Leo. Then we're gonna look up book ideas, book recommendations for being a Leo, because I'm pretty sure in Books and Lala's Aries video, she had like mostly 4 and 5 stars. We're gonna bring the energy here, okay? Like I have had a horrible reading year. So the back of this book says, roar, flaming Leo, full heart, star power, gloss shine, go wild, take your stage. Okay, here we have get to know Leo. If you aren't aware of anything about Leos, which I feel like you are, because Leos love being Leos, love talking about being Leos. I love being compared to the sun and a lion. I love being compared to big, powerful things. Like, who wouldn't? I guess other zodiac signs. I don't know. It says, my lucky colors are orange and gold, which I never wear. I do think one of my most viewed TikToks, I'm wearing orange. Good to know. And apparently Sunday is my lucky day because it's about the sun, as I love to be compared to. Well, let me just give you a little overview for those unfamiliar real quick. It says Leo is often immediately obvious. See, I'm telling you, the energy has not been there, okay? Like, I feel like corporate America just took any sunshine, just completely evaporated my happiness. Even from the other side of the room, and certainly once they've opened their mouths to speak, they tend to have a larger-than-life personality and actively enjoy being noticed and admired, adored, and appreciated. Often deliberately working to engage the attention of the crowd. To achieve this, they are almost never a shrinking violet or a wallflower, but mixed with this exuberant and outgoing approach is a very real affection and loyalty for their family and friends. Period. Not much they won't do for those they love, and they are generous with their time and gifts. Crazy to me how it says that Leos are a natural performer. I think because my rising and my moon is Sagittarius, that you maybe would think, like, maybe I could do that. That could be a whole separate video, okay? But for focusing on my sun sign today and the recommendations that I should be getting for Leo related books. Okay, first list that I'm seeing is from Penguin Random House. Okay, this book, Adult Assembly Required. I'm looking at this cover. It's giving romance. I'm very in the mood to read a happy-go-lucky romance at the moment, so I'm gonna see if I can acquire that book. So that's one. According to people.com, people.com has a list. Here we go, Leo season. Maybe I'll wait. Okay, Circe is a book I need to read. I did read The Song of Achilles. Originally gave it 3 stars, then retroactively wanted to give it 4 stars, and think about rereading it because I kind of didn't know how the book ended and then kind of spoiled myself for how the book ended, because the back of the book has like character descriptions and spoils how their story ends within the book. So that kind of ruined the ending of the book. If you know, you know. Carrie Soto is back. Unfortunately, that is my least favorite Taylor Jenkins Reid book. So I'm not gonna completely agree with that. Okay, no. Queenie, I wanna read that. Okay, so that's 2 books. I think I saw Taylor Jenkins Reid blurb that. I think Taylor Jenkins Reid is a Leo. A crazy amount of incredibly popular authors are Leos. So let us talk. Okay, I've been wanting to read Narnia. We used to have a VHS tape of not the like one with Ben Barnes, like not that one. There was one with like all these British actors from like years and years and years ago, like years ago. Of course, Narnia has like Aslan the big lion. I'm familiar with the story, but I haven't ever read the book. So maybe that'll be my 3rd pick. I want to read like 5. I think 5 is a good thing. I've already read The Hunger Games, gave it 5 stars. Review is pending. Okay, like I'm gonna be posting a very deep analysis of The Hunger Games because we should have every single person on earth do that. I do want to read Obama's memoir very much. I do really want to read that, but I'm just not sure I want to read it for this video. Let's go to Goodreads. That seems like a good place to get book recommendations. Goodreads. I want some good reading. I have also wanted to read Flowers for Algernon. That might be my 5th pick, but let me see. These are all just like really popular books. Like these are all just popular books. So I'm hurting my like thumb with the way I'm holding this. Okay, the 13th Tale. I know I had that checked out from the library at one point. Okay, I don't even know what books I just said. So let me, I think I took a screenshot. That's my list. I feel like I also have seen, people like DNF'd Queenie a lot, but I feel like people say that like the ending is worth it. I am a DNF supporter. I love to DNF, or even just a good old not right now. You know, like I love not reading a book when I don't feel like it and then coming back to it when I do feel like it and loving the book. That is my favorite way to read. But yes, it's time to read like a Leo, to act like a Leo, to hear me roar. Okay? Oh my God, I'm so excited. So I will see you when I start reading any of those 5 aforementioned books. Oh, hello. I am in a completely new setup, temporarily / futurely permanently, because I am at my mother's house, and while we're just figuring out our next move in life, I'll be moving here in a month. It's less than a month, 21 days. So let me move to the side here because we're going to talk about Queenie, which I believe literally all I knew about this was that I feel like I saw so many people say that the main character is unlikable. And I'm thinking about unlikability a lot and how this character does things that I don't agree with, but that doesn't make me dislike her. I like Queenie a lot, actually. I think, well, I'm like neutral on Queenie, but basically the setup of the book, if you don't know, is pretty much that it's really not, like, what is the plot? It was just kind of like a character. Again, I'm learning that, like, I don't know if I've said in this video yet, but I am so much more character focused than I ever would have thought. And so far, this book is like all about character, and really all that you kind of know from the beginning of the book is that Queenie is with this man and she has a miscarriage, and her and this man are on a break. And I can't actually tell for sure if we're going back and forth in time because I am just listening to the audio, but I think it's all told linearly so far. Her and her man are together, they're on a break, and she's just exploring other options that are out there, and she's just living her life in somewhere in England, because the narrator has like a British accent, and they're saying like city names that I don't know as someone who lives in America. There was a character, they were like, oh, I just hired him and he's an American and they're so cute and da da da, and I'm like, but they also said, but is he a Trump supporter? And I'm just like, honey, we have the same fears here in our own borders. Okay. You know, and especially as someone who lives in a red state, I'm actually already almost halfway through the book because it's such a short little audiobook. It's only like 9 hours, and normally I'm listening to like 24-hour long audiobooks with all my fantasy reads, so I'm enjoying being able to get through this so quickly. I enjoy all the characters. I feel like all the characters that we've been introduced to, like, they serve a purpose. They seem funny. Queenie's just having sex with whoever is willing. There's conversations in here about her getting on a dating site and being on the break, and there's like, seems like obviously she's like really pushing them to get back together, but the only thing that's like unlikable about her is that, like, actually there's things that I like about her, because there's certain scenarios that she's put in. She's a black woman in this like workforce and in her life, and she's come across like scenarios like out and about, like at bars where people are touching her hair. She's coming across scenarios where she has like things and projects and stuff that she wants to promote, like Black Lives Matter, and she feels like she gets pushback from that at her office, or like the magazine that she works for like doesn't care as much as they should. I don't know, it's kind of confusing what the magazine is. Apparently this was also a show, so I might also watch the show just to also compare and contrast and have more commentary to add myself. Also, hopefully I told my sister to bring me back. They were gonna hopefully stop by my favorite coffee shop, which is a locally owned coffee shop, and it's my favorite coffee, and it's shutting down, and it's so sad, and I wish I could like do more to keep it alive, but unfortunately I cannot. There's a dulce de leche coffee, it's so good. I'm hoping that we will see that later on in this vlog. I'm already halfway through the book. It feels like I've been reading the book for like 2 seconds and I'm halfway through the book, because there's just so much less to tread through, and I love that. And I feel like I need to read more books like this, like contemporaries, or like, yeah, I guess it's just contemporary fiction is the genre, because it just really breaks up the, not that I'm like always reading like high epics, like I just feel like I lean more towards the fantasy genre because it's just when you love it, you get it, you know what I mean? Like, but there's a lot of flops, and because everybody's trying to come with the next big fantasy thing, I feel like this genre is just people writing things they find fun and interesting, and I'm sure that's what every genre is, but I have nothing else to say, so I'll see y'all later. Something that I think I should do for these books is explain why I think they are recommended for a Leo. Now, as I'm listening to this book, without trying to give away any plot points here, the thing about Leos, at least for me, and at least some of the Leos that I've met in my life, is that we love drama. We love drama, we love theatrics, and we love passionate people. Also, we love, I'm saying we, I don't know that I can, obviously for me, the thing that I love, and the thing I love in all stories, is like an underdog, somebody kind of working up through the ranks and just, you know, but again, loving an underdog story, I don't think that's exclusive to Leos, but something that is constantly discussed around Leos is how self-centered a lot of us can be. And perhaps it is the Leo in me that just doesn't have a hard time seeing that as a negative. I think every single person should be more self-centered. I feel like I see people all the time in the world that are so focused on too broad of a picture, and I'm saying, I don't know, self-centered is, it has such a negative thing to it, but when you really think about it, you think, what, to me, I think about it as like, what can I myself do? What can I, in the position that I'm in, with the privileges that I have, focusing on only myself, what can I do? And I think everybody should focus more on what they themselves individually can do when it comes to like social justice, when it comes to challenges that they face with racism, sexism, homophobia, like all of these things. Like trying to have some bigger picture, some bigger narrative is hard, but you can always focus on yourself. I am really liking where the story's going, and I'm just really enjoying our character journey. And again, that's the self-centeredness thing I was also thinking about, because I'm like, this is so focused on Queenie. Like, we're not really getting any other insight into other characters, and I'm loving that. I think every single person, that phrase of like, should have their day in court, I think every single person is a main character, and I think we could try to imagine like other books focused on these other characters. But of course, for now, we're focused on Queenie. I would be interested to hear some of the other, mostly Jessica. I want to know what's going on in her life. Like, I would follow a book mostly following her. But yeah, I just got to my friend's house, and we're going to watch, I was looking at movies that Leos enjoy. So we're going to go through some lists with her, figure out what we can agree on watching, and then I will come back with a review for said movie. And I don't know how long I'm going to do this vlog, probably like a month, because like I said, I'm doing other vlogs in between and some sit-down videos, and I am actually just loving that. I'm loving doing multiple videos and just editing them when I can get all the stuff together when I'm done filming, and that's just great. Leo, look at all my hopes and dreams just gone. Okay, I finished Queenie. I finished it, and I haven't even thought about a rating, actually. You know what okay, there's so much. Let me not go on a tangent. Okay, that is like, I just edited the last vlog thing that I did, which I am gonna have to redo completely because of the annoyingness of my computer. But I feel like we're somewhere between 3.5 and 4, maybe 3.75 if we're gonna get really specific. But maybe closer to a 4, you know? Like a 3.78, which I think the average rating is like a 3.8. So we are right in line with everybody else on that one. I said earlier, Leos, we love a character that comes into her own, which I do feel like did happen in the book a little bit. But my issue is that I feel like a lot of things were resolved. They were resolved very quickly. The resolution was good. Our girl started going to therapy. She started like coming on into her self-worth, which like, love that for her. But I just feel like so much of the book is spent with her being a problematic queen and making a lot of bad decisions, and kind of like the reasons behind why that is and how she moves from that into what she does next is just it just happened so abruptly. So I didn't love that, but I did really enjoy all the care. I think it was so funny when she moved in with her grandparents, and her grandparents were like waking her up early, and they were like, you can't even lie down in the bed, like get to work, like if you're gonna live here, like you are gonna I just think that was absolutely hilarious. Yeah, and I did say I was gonna try to watch a little Leo movie with my friend, and I looked up a bunch of lists, and I decided to watch nothing from any of those lists, and we started Almost Famous, and we almost finished it, but we didn't finish it. So I'm thinking that now that I finished that book, I might go ahead and finish that movie, because it's gonna get a try. I bought it from the library. We love Hoopla. Okay, babes, we love Hoopla, borrowing from the library. It's incredible. Also, the thing I want to also be doing is I want to be sharing my horoscope, just because I think it's fun and silly and never has to be taken too seriously. Half the time, whatever they share on there is like shit I already be knowing. But let's see. Try to make eye contact. Is this better? Is it better when I look at you directly? Your mind creates elaborate escape routes from conversations while your body gives you away. Stop looking at phones, floors, and exits. When someone speaks, hold their gaze for 3 seconds. Notice what happens when you actually show up. It says, do passionate debates, tangled sheets, and back rubs. Anybody willing to give me a back rub? You know, I could be into it. Don't zone out. Don't dodge questions, and don't nitpick. See, those are all don'ts that I feel like we kind of always could apply. I could always be down for a back rub. The debates one, okay, sure. Sometimes I can understand why we don't do it, why we do it. So I'm gonna probably try to finish Almost Famous, come back on here, and then update y'all whenever I decide to read the next book. And knowing that there's no due date for this video, we're gonna take our sweet time. I do feel like I want to put it up in August though, maybe, because I want to keep the Leo energy out there while we're still in Leo season, but I know it's not gonna happen. I just know it's not, with the fact that like, but if I can do it in August, at least it's like still in a month that is somewhat Leo adjacent. I don't want to get it too much into the Virgos. You know, the Virgos, they love their organization, their skills. I'm sure they would, you know, I wish I had any Virgo in my chart. Apparently the only place that I do have Virgo is in the love category. We'll check back in. I'll see you guys back here in 2 seconds for you, but for me, who knows? I started 13th Tale. I went to the library yesterday. I read only 14 pages, but I do think I was enjoying the physical experience more. I thought I had bookmarks, couldn't find bookmarks, so I could only find a receipt. I have so many beautiful bookmarks, but they're all in the office where my sister's currently at, so, which I could just go get one. I don't know. 14 pages in, what do I think of it? I like it. I think it's very, really romanticizing the idea of just storytelling itself, which I love. I'm barely into it, so, I mean, things could change, but so far I don't think I'm gonna enjoy this more than like other fantasy books I've enjoyed. Also, is this, I know this is historical fiction. I think it's like, if it is fantasy, it's very light. It just says fiction. It just says fiction. But I know it's historical. I think there's a fantasy element to it. I mean, all we really have gotten so far in the beginning is just our character that we're following, who is Margaret, finds a letter that's from Vida Winter. So Vida Winter's like the famous author. She left a note for Margaret to find, and I guess now Margaret is going to be interviewing Vida. And I do love a nested storytelling thing. That's something I always have enjoyed. Every book, 2 of my all-time favorite books, Evelyn Hugo and The Name of the Wind, both have nested storytelling. So hopefully this will be as good as that. Hopefully I'm gonna read this physically sometime today, get a little bit deeper into it, but we'll see. You'll know faster than I know. I don't know if I've mentioned in this vlog that I'm trying to film more than one vlog at once, and I may regret doing this, but I also feel like I will be proud of myself and happy that I am going to have more than one video. I don't know, we'll see. And I'm using 2 different memory cards. Okay, so I'm reading 13th Tale for the Leo video, and I'm really off this high from my birthday. This is the other thing I realized. Okay, my birthday just happened less than a week ago, and we kind of carried it on for a couple of days, and I really enjoyed that. I had a bunch of friends. My friend let me use her house. Had a whole bunch of friends over there. Had karaoke. It was amazing. I had board games. People were drinking. People slept over. People came back over the next day. It was amazing. And then I had like dinner with my family. I'm talking to other Leos. I love Leo energy. Leo energy is unmatched to me. Like, there's nothing like a Leo. Okay, so that's just like more Leo discussion or whatever. So let's talk about the actual book that I'm trying to read. Like, I read 50 pages so far. I think I maybe have already updated you guys once on this one, so I'm gonna try to hold off until I get way deeper into it, but I'm at page 52. Now this is reminding me so much of Evelyn Hugo, because I keep like throwing this whole thing around. Let me just hold it still is reminding us so much of Evelyn Hugo because like it's about this girl, we don't know really like why she was picked. Now she's gonna get to tell the biography of this like world famous author. So it's a little bit different in that it's not a celebrity, it's an author. And the author is like very talented. Of course, she writes mostly contemporary stuff. And there's like this whole mystery surrounding her. Like she originally had a book published called The 13 Tales. And now like, but then it was republished and it was like, oh, that's a mistake. Just kidding. There's only 12. Like every other copy of the book only has 12 tales. So hopefully by the end of the book, we're going to know what exactly the 13th tale is. I'm guessing based on the title that we will. But really, like this is a very slow moving book. And there's not a whole lot, at least the first 50 pages or so. Really the first 40 pages, we don't have much dialogue. We have a lot of internal thoughts, a lot, which I feel like is kind of why the audio doesn't hit as much. Like I think that like these description heavy books, I think they hit better read physically. I'm enjoying it a lot though. The writing is beautiful. The writing is incredible. The romanticizing of reading itself is lovely. The romanticizing of being a child and reading is great. There's been some really great lines about like candles and, you know, like it's very atmospheric. And I love an atmospheric book for sure. So I'm enjoying that part of it. My plan is to go home, unload the groceries, and then try to go to this library that I think is going to be a really good. In order to continue the honorary tribute to Kayla, I pulled up her website here with links to where she got the books for her video, and I'm going to try to do a couple little screenshots and commentary. First, let's talk about 13th Tale. Now, I'm enjoying it a lot, actually. I really am. It's talking about other favorite books of mine. We're talking about Jane Eyre a lot, which I love. It's one of my favorite books of all time. It's very, just like the appreciation for storytelling in this book is really good. And we have stories within stories, of course, because the main plot is like, we're trying to figure out what this 13th tale is. And that's just like this underlying mystery the whole time that's driving the plot. And the things that are revealed from our interviewee, Margaret is the one interviewing Vita Winter, who was, we've learned another name for her. We've got our character trying to figure out the validity of her story. It's just, I am really enjoying it a lot. I really like the writing, the appreciation for storytelling. There's just, I mean, this cover makes perfect sense with like these, it's a book with books on the cover, which is crazy. But it's very gothic, it's very atmospheric, all things that I love. I mean, I think a lot of readers, but I think especially Leos just love a vibe, you know, like a vibe, but also there's like a good string to hold on to here, at least for me, in my opinion. I think this is an incredible, I love the relationship with Margaret and her father. I am like 75% done with it, so I should finish it today, hopefully, and then move immediately on to the next book. But let's take a look at our girls' website. I will link the post from Kayla so you can just see all of it. Oh, I see. Leo. We've got a big section here. That's a big book. But Madeline? As in Madeline, if that's the book I think it is, I think I read that and I think I loved that. Best nonfiction books to read based off your sign. Jonathan Van... I love this recommendation. I do think I will read this one day because I love, let's see what it says here. It says courageous, outgoing, passionate, funny. Is this description of Leo or Queer Eye? Sorry, the answer is both. He's also a Leo? Okay. I haven't watched Queer Eye in a long time, but that one, yeah, he's fun. He's fun. I wish I could grow my hair out like that. That's what I really wish. I've read Pride and Prejudice. I have read Pride and Prejudice, and I gave it 3 stars. Now, I think I'm wrong in this way. This is one of the books that I think I'm just genuinely incorrect about, and that I will reread one day. I think I need to like sit there and take my time with it. But as of now, it says they lead the way and want to be the star. I feel like that's every single commentary about a Leo, is that they're like social butterflies and they always want to be the star. And I feel like I don't know, I like try to fight that commentary, and I just think that, but I also kind of feel like I should stop fighting it and just like embrace it and just Leo out sometimes, you know. But me, a bartender, everyone in my life is like, oh, you hate people, you don't like being around people. And I'm just like, that's true. But when I'm with my people, I'm having the best time. You know, like for my birthday earlier this month, like I had such a good turnout. And not only like people, it was amazing. Epic reads, I love epic reads. They're gonna have to come through. And I have not read any of these. I have not read Cruel Beauty, Something Strange. These are all young adult. I do want to read the selection just to see. I hear it's so bad, but I kind of feel like, what if I love it, you know? Haven't heard of any of those except for the selection. I've heard of Cruel Beauty. I think out of all of these, the one I think I will read and actually enjoy is hopefully Cruel Beauty, but I have been so incorrect in the things I think I will love before, so the perfect classic book for you. If it's Pride and Prejudice again, like, girl. Everyone, I mean, it's just Pride and Prejudice is just a book for, like, I love the retellings of Pride and Prejudice too, which makes me feel like I am again incorrect genre. Oh, this is recommending you a specific genre, and it wants me to read YA, which is funny because literally in my last vlog or sometime recently I said I like Leo books. Okay, but there are some recs. All right, let's see what it says. First, it says note for zest, enthusiasm, and now that I like. This is a description I get behind. Zest, enthusiasm, and confidence. Okay. Vito Vic. People born under this radiant sign pick up a young adult novel because it's likely to depict the thrill of life and will be a fun romp that's expressive. I do love. Hello. I wish every book I picked up was a fun romp that's expressive. There are 3 recs, and I have read one of them. I have read another Kay Ancrum book and not loved it, but I did like Legend of Wonderla. I gave that 4 stars, and I have never heard of A Crane Among Wolves, so I might give that a shot one day. I've never heard of some of these websites. Scouring the internet for a TBR is probably an daily occurrence for Kayla. White Elephant, I have not heard of you. Let's see what we've got on the little descript here. Confident, self-aware, and kinda sorta showy, the headstrong Leo needs a big story with in-your-face characters. I do love an in-your-face character. I really do. I love people who are unapologetically themselves. A vibrant neighborhood drama about a rich newcomer to Washington, D.C. suburb who builds a ridiculous mansion and cuts down a beloved tree, setting off a chaotic... Okay, I am gonna actually see if Libby has that, because I am immediately sold, and I have never heard anyone talk about that, so that's exciting. Now we've got, here we go, I own this, and I want to read it so bad. You don't mind being in the spotlight, you're going to adore Black Phillip. I want to read this so bad, and I know it will take hardly any time at all to read, so I should probably read it. In a young adult novel, we've already learned I'm enjoying that, and told in verse. Yep, need that. Let's look at the last one, Society 19. What do we think about Society 19? Just Kids by Patti Smith. I only know Patti Smith from lyrics in a Taylor Swift song, which is probably bad. I probably should know. I mean, yeah. I love being a Leo just to hear how everyone else describes Leo-ness. That's just fun. The only nonfiction, and that's what y'all give to it. I have read so few nonfictions, but I will give it a shot. Well, now I have one book. I did check out the White Elephant book just because I love finding a book that sounds for me that no one talks about. That's a great experience. So I'm gonna get back to this girl here, and like I said, get started on the next one. And will this video be up by the end of August? I don't know, because of course a Leo is gonna entrench on another zodiac sign. I'm so sorry. What can you do? I mean, we are who we are. I finished the 13th tale, and I'm about to go into my first substitute assignment. So, and I was just thinking of those TikToks that are like, this is me before my 8-hour shift, and I'll take another one when we're done, and we'll see how that went. This is me at the end of my 8-hour shift, although it was actually shorter, and I was there way too early, and it was a whole bunch of special education children, which I thought would be way more difficult than it was. There was just one girl who wouldn't stop screaming, but other than that, it was pretty manageable. You just take the kids to the class and they go, and they only sit in the class for half the time as the other kids, and then you know, I could do that every day. And getting off as early as you get off, I'm down for it. Okay, but I have limited space on the memory card, so let's talk about the 13th tale, okay? I loved it. I am gonna give it 4 stars. It was the 4-star kind of love, but I just really liked how the mystery wrapped up. I liked how all the characters ended up. I like what was revealed. I think it's just a really good book. It's just done really well. It just didn't have like the oomph and characters that I like in my books that would make me give it a full 5-star, I think. But I do think that our main girl is interesting. The reason that she's the one being called, of course, makes sense. I don't know. I think the ending was beautiful. I think it was beautiful, heartwarming, lovely. Loved it. There's that. I am gonna maybe eat a little French fries with y'all here because I forgot to eat all day. That's it. I did also start Flowers for Algernon. And so far I really like it, but I don't really have much else to say about it because I feel like I'm too early into it, but welcome back here. I'm not here. Hopefully somewhere else besides my car, because I do have a lot of errands. So I gotta go get my ring light back, and I have to drop my friend's journal back off at her apartment that y'all would have seen either the last vlog, or you might see her in the next vlog, depending on when I post what. Probably in the next vlog, you'll probably see her. She's my little Reiki girl. She was giving my dog some Reiki. Flowers for Algernon does have some outdated language in it, but I'm curious when it was published. But I'll figure all that out later. I also realized that in the next, you're gonna see the next vlog coming up. And I said, oh, there's a crazy story about pickleball that I never told the story of pickleball, so I'll just tell y'all real quick that me and my girls went to the pickleball court, and they have this whole thing where it's set up where you like put your paddle in, and then like you just wait, and we go up there, we grab our paddles, we do everything correct, we get on the court, and then all of a sudden we get yelled at by this man who's telling us that like we shouldn't have done what we did. We were all like so confused. We just played the game, and the whole game we like sucked ass. And then this man who yelled at us now wants to be our best friend. He like gave one of my girls his number, followed her on Instagram, like said he's gonna like move to the city and he wants to like make sure he has connections out here, and It was wild. I was like, I think I liked him better when he was just yelling at us, because now he's thirsty as fuck. But yeah, BBL. Okay, I'm gonna try something here with the sound. Okay, so, oh, see those are moving boxes. I want you to tell me if you think this sounds better, or if you think this sounds better. I'm hoping, for the sake of ease of use, that this sounds better, but I will use whatever the audience agrees sounds better. It might just sound exactly the same, but I don't know. Here's the other thing. I have been horrible at reading my horoscope. I meant to read my horoscope like every day that I do this, but we still have over 3 or 4 days left that I'll be recording, hopefully, assuming I finish all these books. But let me see what my co-star says today. That is the app I use. This is what it says. It says, notice every word. People around you are dropping hints, but you're missing them. Stop planning your next line while they're still talking. What they're actually saying is much simpler and more important than what you imagine. It says, do multiple choice, B-sides, and lava lamps. Don't skip the reading, twisting words, or pointillism. Don't do those things. Okay, you got it. Oh, and I've been playing Animal Crossing, so I'm just gonna show this little letter I got from one of my villagers because I thought it was funny. Now let's talk about Flowers for Algernon, and we'll put the cover here to cover up these beautiful boxes that need to be getting packed because the movers are booked, we're moving, it is happening. Now, I think we're on 5-star alert. I think this might be my favorite from the video because, ironically, here's the thing. For me, I find that I seem to give out 2 kinds of 5 stars. Books that I love so much on an emotional level, and then there's books that I love so much on an intelligence level. And this book is definitely one of the intelligence level things. And for me, I also want to give 2 examples of 2 different books that I personally rated 5 stars, like The Diviners, which is my personal all-time favorite book and series. So the girlies that love The Diviners, love to join you. I wish more people would read that series. It would help the whole world out, but that is an emotional rating. It's kind of an emotional and intellectual rating, but I think I love it the most for the emotional reasons. And Then There Were None is a book that I gave 5 stars on the intellectual level because I think that the creation of that book on a writing project standpoint, like if someone had handed me that in a classroom setting, I would have been like, we have a genius in our midst. Like, that is an incredible feat of writing. And I'm feeling like that with, of course, this also won, I believe, the Hugo and the Nebula. So like, this is not news to people. Like, everyone knows this is a great book. This is an award-winning book, but I'm starting to feel like I should read some more award-winning books because just the discussions surrounding intelligence and the way you are treated based off your intelligence that is happening in this book is actually incredible. Like, it's just a book I want like everyone to read, and I think it helps you appreciate your intelligence, whatever level it is, and I think it just makes you think. And I love to think. We took a test at work at my old job, and it was like your top 5 strengths. You might be familiar with it if you've ever taken it in your career setting. And my number 1 strength is that I like to think. I am always thinking. I even think about thinking. And this book is like a think piece on thinking.
So we're just shooting off on all cylinders here. And I decided I wanted to wear my Friends shirt. If you couldn't tell, this is a Friends reference. So it's just interesting to me, the conversations that happen around Ross as a character that everyone seems to universally hate. And I think it's fair to hate him if you hate like what goes on with him and Rachel, or you hate him because he's annoying. I think you have to be careful with it though. Like, we don't want to find him annoying because he's always being a know-it-all. I try not to, I have to fight the urge to like, actually my father was like, I would call him a well actually man, and I really try to fight that, but it's just so ingrained in me, and I try not to be that way. But I do think it is important for people to not spread misinformation, and I think it's important to know things. I think it's important to learn, but also not be elitist at the same time. And I feel like maybe the thing is that Ross always wanted to talk about paleontology, and he was always shot down, and people were always like, your job is, which to be fair, I've never personally been super interested in dinosaurs. So like, if he was talking to me about that, I don't know that I would be super excited. But then again, it's not that I just haven't currently been interested. You know, like I used to not be interested in reading, and now I have a whole YouTube channel about it. So like, things can change. Maybe one day my YouTube channel will be all about dinosaurs. Like, who knows? I feel like there should be more people open to learning and questioning your intelligence and ways to improve your intelligence. And I just think that this book does such a good job of getting you to appreciate your own intellect, like no matter what level it is. Even if you are, I do think, like I said, there's some outdated language, and I don't know if this book was written today, if it would use the same wording or not, but it's just, I think we're absolutely on 5-star alert. We are absolutely on 5-star alert. Like this, I think I am over halfway, and like I only want to do is finish this book because it's so good, but I also like don't want to finish the book because I don't know when I will get another 5-star. I'm 58% into the book, and I started it yesterday, so I think we have a good shot of getting it finished sometime today. That would be amazing to get. I don't even know, the last 5-star I had was the Hunger Games, so like I knew the Hunger Games would be a 5 stars before I even picked it up, you know. Like this one I thought maybe, but this one is just even better than what people say. I feel like if you have any similar things to me where you like to rate books based off of the writing feat that they have achieved, I think this one will be for you. I did not finish the book last night, but I did finish it this morning, and I can't decide if it's a 4.5 or a 5, but I do feel like I'm gonna, for now, say it's a 4.5 because I can easily see this being a favorite of the year. I don't know that I can see it being a favorite of, actually I can see it being a favorite of all time. So if I'm editing this and I change my opinion or anything, I'll just put it in editing. But let me just, like I said before, I just think that this book intellectually is incredible. I absolutely teared up towards the end of the book multiple times because in the title of the book is just so poetic, and it's just a beautiful story. It's just an absolutely beautiful story, and I think it's also a movie apparently, and now I want to watch the movie, so I might try to do that. I don't know if I'll have time today, but I want to try to do it this weekend or something. I love like the conversation about your intelligence. I love the conversations with other characters about the situation and how to appreciate what you have in the moment. And I had theories about what was going to happen, but it was so sad. This is definitely sad, but not as sad as some might think, but also it kind of ends somewhat ambiguous, I feel, in that we don't know exactly how everything is wrapped up, which is, I'm thinking about my rating with like, would I have given it a higher rating if it did? And I think the answer is yes. I want to feel like the author ties up all the loose ends. Like that's what I personally want in a book. I know there's many other readers who are not the same, so if you kind of like feeling like there's a little bit left to the story, then you might write this high. But for me, this is definitely a favorite of the year. Easily going to be a 4.5, like will be in my top 10 favorite books, very, very likely. This video is just chock full of bangers. Stuff like this has me think like, oh, okay, the Zodiacs, whoever came up with all of this, like, that's all I gotta say about Algernon. So I'll see y'all whenever I start reading the next one. Is it literally only 10 seconds later from the last time that you saw me? Yes. Could you tell? Maybe, because I am wearing the same shirt, sitting in the same chair. Literally, all I did was go pee and tweeze my eyebrows. And here I am again, because I have already gotten 35% into The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis, a certified classic, a book most people have probably read. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much. This video is just absolute, like I said, just banger after banger after banger. And I think I just need to do, like, this needs to be how I pick my TBR for the rest of my life. These recommendations, of course, these are also like popular books that a lot of people like, and I have wanted to read them. I just haven't. It's not that I want to wait until there's a content reason, but it is kind of that. It's just more fun. You know what I mean? It's more fun to like read it and share the experience of reading it with my 20 viewers. You know what I mean? Like, it's just fun. You know how people are always like, oh, the book was better? And I feel like some people just find that annoying, but like, it's usually because the book provides more context and more nuance, and nuance is so important. If you don't know what Narnia is, like, it's a 7-book children's series that follows these 4 kids that are visiting their uncle or professor. He's somehow related to their family, and they're staying with him during the war, and they go into a wardrobe, and there's like a magical land in there. But like the little tiny things that are happening within the narration of this book that just give you more information that I don't feel are fully elaborated on in the movie. I don't know if I ever saw the New Wish movie. I know we're getting like some Greta Gerwig movie stuff coming up. I know that's also happening soon. But as far as this book and the context, like some examples, like the main example I can think of is the fact that Edwin is like this character that everyone hates, but the fact is that white witch gave him Turkish July. And there's this whole meme that's like, oh, Turkish July, it's so bad, like I wouldn't sell my family out for it. Like, it's not good. Actually, I have had Turkish July since the last time I went to London. Like, I'm gonna go all the time. Only been to London once in my life. I don't know that I actually loved it as much as everybody. Anyways, it's clear from the book that the witch gave him enchanted Turkish Delight, and it's all of his actions are motivated by this, and it's enchanted. Not only is it enchanted, but he's supposed to crave it, and if he doesn't get it, it makes them want to kill themselves. Like, how extreme is that? And that's not mentioned, or like, I think about like, how could we have put that into the movie in a way, and all we have to have is like a person that the White Witch tells, you know what I mean? Like, and then I think maybe I could one day be a screenwriter, but you know, maybe not. We'll see what Greta Gerwig does with it, because I'm excited for that. Okay, that I think could be fun. But this book, just, it's so charming. I think that word encapsulates the book so well. It's just absolutely charming. And I feel like we might have our second 5-star alert. Okay, I think we might be on 5-star alert yet again. Of course, this has some nostalgia for me as someone who grew up with the movie, and I know I've seen that movie at least twice, if not more, and I wish we had that VHS tape because I want to rewatch it so bad because it's so charming and adorable. I just got to the chapter with the beavers, which I always loved that part of the movie. I always loved the part with the beavers. So I'm having a great time. I think I'm going to easily finish this today because it's so short. I will hopefully be in another location and another area the next time we talk. It's just so good. It's so good. I love, my favorite actually part of the book was when the kids go talk to the professor, because the brothers are like, we don't know if we believe our sister or not, and the professor is so quirky about everything. I just love it. A quirky professor. I guess we could call that a micro trope. It's my favorite. It's one of my favorite things ever. I never know how to end these like mid clips. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna do a real quick update here because I'm still listening to the Chronicles of Narnia and I'm working on classes for something else. I'm loving the Chronicles of Narnia. But I wanted to read my horoscope because I feel like I think I've maybe done it 2 or 3 times, hopefully at least 3 times. Sometimes these horoscopes are so generic and unspecific, but this time it says, do your laundry, fold it immediately, which is very commanding. And then it says the dishes in your sink are a metaphor. Small tasks pile up while your mind races toward tomorrow's revolution. Clean your space now. It's not a distraction from your work. It is the work. This is gonna be the final clip. I'm so sorry. If you really wanted me to read that other book, which I do want to read it, let me make it clear here. Okay, the microphone test situation, like, it seems from the camera that everything sounded the same, but when I put these clips into editing, it is so clear that this is the insanely superior microphone, and now I'm starting to feel like I wish that I had just recorded every video on my channel with this microphone. I'm like, should I just go back and redo them all? But no, of course, this is where we are. 170 videos later, I finally learned how to use a microphone. I did finish the Chronicles of Narnia. I do believe I said I was feeling like it was gonna maybe be a 5-star. I'm gonna settle on 4 stars because I do love this book. Like it's very nostalgic and I do love it. I just don't know, again, that it has like the umph that I'm looking for when it comes to my characters. But of course, like this is one that I feel like the world and the like whimsy of it all is incredible. And I love those kinds of things in my books. I love incredible whimsy. But my number one favorite thing is going to be when you compare together emotional and intelligence together and have commentary about social, political things. Those are my absolute favorite. Those are my favorite books of all time. But this is so whimsical and cute and adorable. And of course, it's a children's book, but I think it's still very enjoyable as an adult, as someone who is 33 years old, still learning how to operate technology. I don't know. I feel like whatever version, I think it was a BBC miniseries version of the Chronicles of Narnia that I used to read. And I think it was absolutely that adaptation. Whoever was running the BBC back in the 90s or whenever that came out did a fantastic job. People also commonly discuss the BBC like having great adaptations, and I agree. Let's just do a little recap. So, you know, if you maybe you just skipped to the end here. I'm so sorry. I'm not going to read Adult Assembly Required in this video. I do still have it on Libby. I will probably read it in this upcoming week. I do want to read it. I think it's a sapphic romance, something I need more of in my life. I'm very excited to make a video that is not themed, and I think I'm just going to keep doing weekly vlogs. And now that I have a good microphone, it's going to be a great time, y'all. It's going to be a great time over here. So if you want to see me read Adult Assembly Required, be sure to subscribe and follow along. Out of these four, my favorite was definitely Flowers for Algernon. That was easily my favorite that I read. Second favorite is probably Narnia, and then Queenie. I loved Queenie too, and The 13th Tale. I mean, they were all great. I think I'm gonna probably say 13th Tale is my least favorite, which is ironic because it's fantasy, which I would probably consider my favorite genre. It's a different kind of fantasy. Of course, it's 4 stars. Okay, I mean, like this is. I also gave Queenie. I don't know. Queenie and The 13th Tale, they're like even to me. So I think out of these 4, Algernon, easily my favorite. Probably going to be an all-time favorite. I'll probably recommend it for a long time to come. And Narnia, of course, is a classic. I think these 2 are probably the most discussed and award-winning out of them. So Queenie and The 13th Tale. I do think maybe The 13th Tale I did enjoy a little bit more than Queenie, but I enjoy them for different reasons. You know, like they're completely different genres. They offer completely different things. So it's hard to kind of like pit them against each other. You know what I mean? Like I love ranking things, but I also feel like I love ranking things that are in the same category umbrella. That's my journey with these books. I do think this is an incredible way to get recommendations. I think, you know, if you have ever done an experiment like this or you have recommendations for Leos, of course, leave them in the comments. I would love to hear them. Other than that, I will leave my Instagram, Goodreads, and my TikTok in the description for you to check out if you would like. Otherwise, have a great day. Bye.